Hi there, listener, and welcome to episode 2 of Threats of a Good Time. I'm your co-host, Ryan, and with me today is somebody very, very special. She is my friend, girlfriend, fiance, soon-to-be wife, in that order. And don't forget, trusty assistant. We've known each other a very long time, by my standards, because my relationships have before her, they topped out at like 4 years. So we're creeping up on a decade. So that's a pretty big record for me. Allow me to introduce my trusty sidekick and ne'er-do-well assistant and all the aforementioned titles, Tiffani Dean. Hey, hi, say hi.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Just sitting here with you.
Sitting there being super pregnant.
Super pregnant.
Incredibly pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you, don't let the microphone change your personality, because when I sit down behind the mic, I tend to become broadcaster Ryan, and I'm trying to not do that. So don't let it change. Don't let it intimidate you. Just be yourself.
Well, I'm going to try to be. You know how I am. I'm very awkward and
I know.
Shy and
yeah,
tend to have a bit of social anxiety, so.
Yeah, and a whole lot of fucking people are going to hear this. So no pressure.
You didn't have to say that.
No pressure.
You didn't have to say that, but okay.
I know I didn't have to, but I did. So no pressure. No pressure. You can laugh. You don't have to stifle your laughter.
I'm not. Don't do that face. Yeah. He's making a face. He makes fun of me all the time.
You make fun of me constantly with the flappy hand thing that you do when I got pissed off. You'd be like, me, 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 and flap your hands at the wrists.
I mostly do that when you're whining about something.
Well, I have a lot of shit to whine about. Life sucks. Yeah. I didn't ask for this, but I'm here anyway. So.
We all are, so.
Yeah, I know. We're all suffering together.
Well, you're my favorite person to suffer with, so.
Oh, God. Are we trying to make the listeners vomit? Is that what we're doing?
Maybe a little bit.
I don't want them to be. It could cause an accident if they're listening to this while they're driving. You know, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's sweet," and spew all over their windshield or steering wheel and lose their grip and careen into oncoming traffic or into the median, depending on what kind of road they're on. We don't want that.
No, we don't.
We want the listeners to, survive the experience.
Yeah.
So. We're going to try to not get too, cutesy with stuff. That being said, we're going to start off with how we met. There's not really in this day and age a lot of relationships or love stories that start on dating apps. But, and I'm... That's
where ours started.
Yeah, I was, you interjected there. I was going to say there's a dump truck size butt coming here. That's where our story started. It was on
OkCupid.
Yeah. OkCupid. If anybody that works for them are listening, feel free to send me money for plugging your platform, if you're even still a thing. If you haven't died a painful death amongst all the other places on the internet where people can meet up and, have coffee and date and fuck relentlessly like bunnies, like Facebook and Instagram. That seems to be where people tend to hook up anymore. Feel free to pay me for advertising time or pay me money, just a lump sum in any kind of any amount will do. Every little bit helps. I'll take $5, $10, $20. You know, I will literally take tens of dollars from you for plugging your website.
Well, you know, our story isn't just, you know, like, oh, we hooked up and then, you know, we kind of just kept hanging out with each other. Like we didn't even meet for like 6 months.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
we just texted and talked on the phone for like 6 months before we actually met in person.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a long time.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time we spoke on the phone?
I don't remember the date. I do remember. I do remember the first time we spoke on the phone.
Well, of course, you're not going to remember the date. Nobody has that. Well, I'm sure there are some people that have that kind of eidetic memory, but do you remember?
Yes, I do, because I was like, oh my God, his voice.
Listen to that voice. Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, like, okay, the way it happened was you viewed my profile, because you can see when someone views your profile, but you didn't say anything to me, and I almost got offended. I was like, does he think he's better than me? He was interested enough to click on my profile and look at my pictures, but he's not going to talk to me or anything. I honestly thought that it was, you know, like, well, maybe it's because I have a kid, because Olive was like 7 months at this time.
Something like that.
And I was like, well...
I just heard this really gross gurgle in your throat.
I'm sorry. I'm pregnant. There's a lot of acid reflux going on.
Things are happening.
Yeah. But no, I was like... I was just going to let it go, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to message him, see what he says. I don't even remember what I said or what you said.
I don't either, honestly. But I remember the first phone call. I remember where I was. It was at Steven's house. And Justin was there. Hey, Justin. I don't know if you're listening. I hope you are. Hey, buddy. I miss you.
We miss you.
Yeah, and I was a little drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if that came across in my voice then or not. Who cares, really? But I remember you were very relieved that I did not carry the regional dialect of the area from whence I hail.
Well, I wouldn't say like relieved. Like, there's nothing wrong with the accent. There's nothing wrong with it. I was surprised because you said, you know, because I come from California and you sounded like me. And I was a little confused and I was surprised. Yeah. I don't know about relieved.
Ellie, do you mind? Our dog is also with us. She's just kind of sitting there being stupid.
She wants pets. She wants lovins. It's okay.
Yeah, it seems anytime the microphones come out, every fucking body needs something or wants something or has to do something or, you know, needs to make noise. Excuse me.
It's okay. This is our life. We have the dog. We have 3 cats. We're about to have 2 children. So.
Yeah. And I apologize, listener, if you just heard the carbonated beverage on which I am sipping make its way back up into my mouth because I tried to stifle a burp. So, yeah. I'm glad that you were glad that I didn't sound like somebody who has an efficient what's the word?
I don't know what you're
like
trying
a penchant
to say.
for pills and alcohol. I didn't sound like a pillbilly.
Hey, there are people there are people in California that are like that too, so.
That sound like Hicks.
It's not, no, that have a penchant for pills and.
Oh, well, in West Virginia, you know, if you have maybe I'm just a judgmental asshole, I guess, is what it is.
Well, yeah.
Fuck you. If the heavier the accent, the more of a druggie, I guess, is the way that plays out in my head. I don't know. I've just alienated so many people, and people are tuning out. I can see the metrics right now dropping, even though this episode is being recorded and hasn't even went up on Anchor yet. I can see the metrics just fucking plummeting. There's like, fuck this guy. This guy's a prick. We met on OkCupid and clicked over a lot of shared interests. I think the most notable one was Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, just all the different movies and TV shows that we both liked, and I wouldn't say music because we didn't really like the same kind of music. Well, I mean, the same kind of music, sure, but like I wasn't super into Tool, and you've introduced me to a lot of music. Like a lot of the bands that I listen to now, I had no idea existed. Because
I have impeccable taste in music.
I feel cheated that I went so long without knowing Coheed and listening to them. Like that's...
Yeah.
I feel cheated.
Yeah, and they're a band that I used to make fun of on the regular because I was an impressionable douchebag, and I wanted to be liked by my circle of peers, and it's like, okay, well, I'll just do what they do because I'm stupid and impressionable and an idiot teenager, and if I could go back, I would kick my own ass.
Yeah, right. That's definitely one of the ways that we're very different, because I like what I like, and I don't give one shit about...
You don't give shit one?
No, I don't care what anyone thinks about me, that I like, Britney Spears music and...
Yeah.
Just, well, I mean, come on. I was a teenage girl in the 2000s, very early.
In California.
Very late 90s, early 2000s. So.
And in California, like, oh my God.
Backstreet Boys was my shit.
Yeah. I
loved the Backstreet Boys, but also I listened to a lot of Korn and like Limp Bizkit and shit like that too. So. And then, of course, I grew up listening to, like Prince, a lot of older Michael Jackson, Hart, Stevie Nicks, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Bon Jovi, just all the classic stuff from my dad.
See, she's got good taste too.
Yeah.
Our if we were to have a combined music playlist, it would go all over the place, from Tool to Coheed to Prince to Eminem. To lots of stuff, fucking Dimmu Borgir,
it's all over
Flames.
The place. All over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, something that I introduced you to was Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes.
The first time I asked if you'd ever seen that and you said no, like I almost was like, okay, that's kind of a deal breaker. I'm just gonna go talk to someone else now. No, but actually when we finally met, and the first time I came to your house, God, we drank and we watched the episode Werewolf, and we about died laughing.
Classic. I'm surprised. I'm honestly kind of surprised I didn't herniate in the abdomen somewhere, because Jesus fucking Christ. If you haven't seen that movie on its own, that's one thing. Go watch it. It's so bad on its own. It's worth watching just to laugh at. But with, was that a Mike or Joel episode? I think it was Mike.
I believe it was a...
Well, you're the assistant here. Do the Google foo.
I don't have my phone.
Oh my God. I totally understand Conan's frustration with Sona now. You're the same. I'm
pretty sure that it's a Mike episode.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you've never seen Mystery Science Theater 3000, when it first started, Joel, he's the host.
You want to explain the premise to the listener?
Yes, this guy gets shot up into space.
By his employer.
Yeah. Because he didn't like him. And he's lonely up on this satellite of love that he's stuck on. So he makes some robot friends, and they are the best thing ever. Tom Servo is my favorite.
I'm a Crow guy myself.
Yeah. Tom Servo, Crow, Gypsy, and Cambot. But yeah, they sit and watch very old sci-fi,
Jesus,
just
Ellie,
very,
come on.
bless you, Bumper. Just very terrible, very bad old movies, and they make fun of it the whole time,
Because
and
that's the only way
it's
he can
hilarious.
It's the only way he can keep his sanity, is to watch these movies that they pummel him with.
And it's hilarious. And honestly, we watched so much. We've seen. How many have we seen? By the way, they're on YouTube. A huge chunk of the episodes are on YouTube for free, which they encourage people, if you have old VHSs that you recorded them onto, put them up on YouTube so that everyone can watch.
There was usually an end card that said keep circulating the tapes. They encouraged that because they wanted, it was a very kind of guerrilla radio operation from the beginning. What state did they come out of? Minnesota, I think. And, it was very low budget, low rent kind of thing that Joel Hodgson launched on his own. And, they encouraged the piracy, but which, it wasn't really piracy because they encouraged it, but that's what it was. It's like, keep circulating the tapes. Let's get it out to as many people as possible. And, yeah, if you haven't seen Mystery Science Theater 3000 or its more modern iteration, Riff Tracks, you're cheating yourself.
Yes, Riff Tracks.
You're cheating yourself. And that is Riff Tracks is the newest, the most recent cast of classic Mystery Science Theater, because there was a reboot. When was it? Like 2015, 2016, when they brought in Jonah Ray and Hampton Yount and Baron Vaughn,
Patton Oswalt,
and Felicia Day.
Yeah.
That's new Mystery Science Theater on Netflix. I hope it's still up on Netflix. Probably not, though, because Netflix sucks and takes all the good stuff down, and they keep churning out crap. But the most recent cast of classic MST3K, Mike, what's his last name?
Mike Nelson.
Mike Nelson. It's a common name. It's easy to forget. Mike Nelson and Bill Corbett and
Kevin Murphy. Yes.
Do Riff Tracks, and they don't do the old sci-fi movies and stuff. They do newer movies. They've done Twilight. I think they've done all the Sharknado movies.
Yeah.
Jesus God.
The Twilight Riff Tracks is the best. Yeah. I love watching those so much because, that's another thing that I do love. Because it's so bad, it's
don't say it's good.
Like, they're so bad, they're good. Look, I'm sorry. I love the Twilight movies. I love them, but
Team Mustache.
I will sit there and I will still make fun of them.
Team Mustache.
And see,
Dad.
we've seen yes, of course, Team Mustache Dad. Yeah.
He's the only character that's even remotely interesting.
But we've watched so much Mystery Science Theater that we physically can't watch any movie, even really good ones, without making fun of them. People hate watching movies with us because we don't shut up.
Yeah, I can't keep my mouth shut.
Because we just sit here and make fun of them all the time.
I can't. I physically, it's become a reflex. I mean, I was critical of film before, but after Mystery Science Theater, it just kind of reaffirmed the idea in my brain. It's okay to be a critic, and it's okay to point out plot holes. And it's okay to point out bad acting. And
oh, yeah.
You should point these things out. Because these people need to be held accountable for the crimes against cinema that they fucking committed. I mean, if we watch a movie together and neither one of us say a word, then that movie should be given all of the awards.
Yeah, that means that it's actually like a very, very good movie.
Yeah. And same goes for TV shows. That's the main reason I stopped watching The Walking Dead, is because just the quality. I mean, it plateaued for a while, and then there was a very sharp drop. I mean, if it were a graph, it would be straight down. It just went straight into the shitter.
And
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. They should have never fired Frank Darabont.
is that
They shouldn't have done
show
it.
even still on? Like, is that still?
Oh, they're milking the hell out of
Is
this
that
final
still
season.
going? Oh, they're in the final. Finally, they're in the final season.
Final season.
Yet, what's the show we just watched that was really good?
Night Sky.
J.K. Simmons. Yes, Night Sky. So good.
And
so
guess what Amazon
fucking
did?
Good. And they canceled it. Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
But garbage like The Walking Dead, still on air because they can milk.
We haven't even seen it since what, the 7th?
Since whatever happened to
6th?
Rick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
After they took Rick.
Sorry, spoilers for anyone who
Which if
maybe
you,
like watching through it right now, or just if you haven't seen it. I mean, well, people who
you're not really
aren't gonna watch it because they're not interested. I'm sure they don't care, but
well, here's a fucking spoiler for you. You're not missing anything good.
yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, they're milking the final season because money and spin-offs. There's going to be a Rick and Michonne spin-off. There's going to be a Daryl Dixon spin-off that's set in France for some reason.
What?
Yeah, I wish I were making it up. France.
Okay, how does he get there?
I don't know. I guess he's going to ride his motorcycle across the ocean like he's Motorcycle Jesus.
Motorcycle Jesus. That's what they should call it. Yeah. I mean, if we're going to talk about it, though, like, honestly, Daryl probably was, like, one of the best characters in that show.
And he wasn't even...
And he was... Yeah, right? Wasn't he not even in the comic? I haven't read the comics.
He wasn't in the books.
I would like to read them.
Well, you know how it ends. Because, I think
No,
they stuck...
I don't know how it ends.
I think they pretty much stuck pretty close to the way they did the show.
Well, we haven't seen the show, so I don't know how the show ends. I don't know how the comics end.
I'm pretty sure in the comics, Rick...
But Mr. Spoilers over here, he will go and read. This one thing that makes me so mad about you. You'll go on the internet and you'll read spoilers. Like, I'll be watching a show that I know that you're not gonna like, and like I'll be talking about it, and then he goes and reads spoilers, and then he sits there and teases me with it because he knows that I hate spoilers. That's what I hate more than anything, is spoilers.
Ain't I
don't like stuff to be spoiled for me. Which, by the way, I've already watched the rest of Stranger Things because you won't watch it with me.
How about
and
that?
I kept seeing spoilers.
How about that?
So I had to go watch it.
Yeah, that's the way they did her dirty. That's terrible. I liked her.
Oh, right. Yes.
It's like, why?
Well,
why? For what reason? Why? What did she do? Was it necessary?
The next season's going to be the final one, I think, is what they're saying. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, well, it'll get 18 spinoffs in a goddamn movie. So they'll find a way to unbrain dead her. Because 11 goes in there and opens her eyes and it's just, there's nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we started watching when the first season came out. It was out for a while, and then Stephen King posted on Twitter that it was really good, and we were like, well, guess we gotta watch it because Stephen King likes it, which we're both pretty big Stephen King fans too.
It's another thing you turned me on to.
It's Stephen King and the Dark Tower series, because he had never read that, and I read those years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're
classics.
Hands down favorite books ever.
Yeah, and don't if you're a Stephen King fan, or if you aren't and are now thinking, hey, I might pick up a Stephen King book. Let us be the first to tell you, it isn't all horror, and it isn't all scary. It isn't all vampires and werewolves and shit. Oh my! His writing style is very distinct, and a lot of the things that he writes about, it's a visceral kind of horror that it fucks with your head. It's like you read these things and it's just like, Jesus Christ, God, like this is fucked up. This shit is messed up. It's not necessarily always supernatural, because a lot of the underlying themes in his books are evil comes from man and not necessarily out in space or from the devil or some other extranatural source. Usually the source of evil is man itself. And the Bill Hodges trilogy, Mr. Mercedes,
oh my God,
Finders, Keepers, and End of Watch, are sublime examples of that evil comes from mankind.
have you finished Billy Summers yet? Billy Summers was really good too.
I haven't. I'm ashamed to say I haven't picked it up since that one night that I was reading it, waiting to pick you up from work at TA, where you regularly have to deal with stupid truckers and asshole customers.
Well, honestly, like where I worked before, little gas station out in Athens, West Virginia, just a little tiny town where most of my customers were regulars. I still had to deal with assholes. It doesn't matter what kind of retail or food service you work in, you're gonna deal with assholes. It's not just truckers, but I can say
Your stomach's making all kinds of noises.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. She's pushing on stuff. None of my organs are where they should be right now. None of them.
She's a walking miracle. And that was before she got pregnant.
Aw.
Yeah, somebody just vomited. I vomited.
Please don't start with her.
Oh,
right now.
don't impersonate Gorley. Impersonating H.R. Giger. Don't do that. So maybe I shouldn't talk like that and make you laugh on the thing. Somebody may vomit. It's just so funny how he casually, these bodily functions that should not be a common occurrence or a common thing for H.R. Giger. That's the way he plays it, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway. What were we talking about?
Oh, my original point was that we started Stranger Things and we watched the whole first season in one sitting.
It was pretty captivating. And I don't know, in my opinion, it's kind of taken a downturn a little bit in quality as it got more popular, because I think, no disrespect to the Russo brothers, or Duffer brothers, I'm thinking Avengers here. I couldn't do any better. So, props to you guys. Props to them. But the more popular something gets, I kind of think sometimes that goes to the creators' heads, I
don't know. It's held my attention throughout the whole,
right.
What was this, the fourth season? It's held my attention. I've enjoyed each season as much as I did the first one.
Right, but you got to admit each season wasn't quite as good as the first. And whether that's because it's like, oh, hey, this is new and novel and it's something I've never seen before.
Well, that's probably what it was, because, we get introduced to this story and it's just so...
I don't know. But sometimes you got to admit, like The Walking Dead, coming back to that, is a good example. The more popular it got, it's kind of like, okay, we can coast off the popularity instead of actually writing shit that makes sense, because people are going to watch, people are going to buy the t-shirts, the merchandise, they're going to buy that shit anyway. We don't actually need to put quality control in place here. For fuck's sake, during one of the battles for Alexandria out of 100,000 that there were, because there was always a new big scary threat, there's a guy holding a rifle. I have a picture of it somewhere. He's holding a rifle and it has a red dot sight, an open sight. The red dots, I don't know if anybody listening is a gun nut or knows anything about firearms, but a red dot sight essentially replaces the iron sights. It's an open sight, not a scope. He's holding the rifle with the red dot sight right up against his face, and if in real life you were to do that and fire the weapon, it's going to blow back and break your orbital, your eye socket, and black your eye, and you're going to really have a fucking bad time.
Well, see, there's, that's and that's something that I've tried to tell him too, is that, it's a TV show. It's not real life, and there are not many people that are going to, look at stuff like that and know that. They're just, they're
That's
just
true.
trying to enjoy the show, and they're just enjoying the show. Whatever, that's
true.
fine.
But I want guns to function properly in things that I watch. That's why I'm such a big fan of John Wick.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and that's probably why you love John Wick so much.
I mean, not only are they fantastic films, but,
Well,
he
Keanu
trained.
Reeves is actually a badass,
He's
too.
actually a bad motherfucker. Yes. And he went and trained with Terran Tactical for these movies, and firearms function the way that they should in those films. So if you haven't seen those, that's another thing. You're cheating yourself. Watch them, all three of them. You can get like all three for like, I don't know, like $30 on Blu-ray off Amazon. Hey, Amazon, I'm plugging your shit. Give me money. But yeah, I don't know. I have a problem suspending my disbelief sometimes. I'm a pretty harsh critic of a lot of stuff. But that might be, I don't know, but it's my own hang up. Yeah, but I think it also stems from having ADD. And I have this like hyper fixation on details. And, I sit and I analyze everything in a scene within just like, a handful of seconds. And it's like, okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is right. This is right. This is wrong.
Right, yeah.
I really should be with Jay doing film stuff.
I was going to say, yeah, you'd make a really great, like, editor.
Yeah. Continuity is my favorite thing. Stuff always has to make sense and continually make sense and stay consistent.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about the Dark Tower movie for a second.
How about we don't?
Oh, well,
I don't want to talk about it.
I was so disappointed because
It makes me want to vomit.
ever since I read those books, like, that's all I've wanted is
That's all any of us have wanted.
to see it on screen and done right, and I was very optimistic. And then
Spoilers incoming for the books and the movie.
we watched it, and it was just not good. I'm so sorry. Idris Elba. I love Idris Elba. Nothing against him. I think he was, pretty good choice for Roland, but the movie sucked.
It did suck.
It didn't, there's nothing.
They crammed several thousand pages
yes.
into 90 minutes.
Okay, listen, there are 8 books. Right?
Okay, I guess I'm going to have to be my own damn assistant here.
Yeah, you are going to have to
and do
be.
my own Google
Yeah.
foo and see the exact page count for the Dark Tower series. But they crammed so much material into 90 minutes that there's no feasible way that it could have worked. 4,720 pages into 90 minutes. Okay.
They might be able to get away with making the first book, just the first one, The Gunslinger, into a 90-minute movie. They may be able to get away with that, but the books get bigger as you go on. And there's
yeah.
so much that happens.
Even just with book 1, there would have to be a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor because
Yeah.
Listener, if you have listened to the first episode of this series where I interviewed Jay Horror, he is in film school, and I learned that a script, each page of the script is 1 minute, and The Gunslinger is like, I don't know, I think 200 pages. Is fairly short. You could read it in one sitting if you really wanted to. But to get all of that onto the screen, that would be 220 pages. That's 220 minutes. That's a fucking long movie.
Well, sure, but you have to remember, too, that Stephen King's very descriptive when he's talking about stuff. So, like, him going on for, 2 pages about the setting, like, just
about what Tull looks like, and
yeah,
all the gear that Roland's carrying, and
yeah,
that could be cut.
You can show that within a few seconds on screen.
Yeah, of course,
what
show
the landscape looks like, and what Roland is wearing and what his guns look like and like all that stuff. But
big giant iron revolvers with
Yes.
sandalwood grips.
yes,
Yeah. So yeah, that would work. Okay, it would work. So some enterprising studio out there, if you're hearing this, this is a cry for help. This is a desperate SOS from the King fandom. Please make a decent Dark Tower movie
I honestly feel like it's gonna have to be a series though.
or
like,
a series, and don't shit the bed with it like Amazon did. Because they started it, they started one, and then they canned it. They had Michael Rooker on board from The Walking Dead, Merle. They had him on board for it, and they just decided, we're bored with this. And it was much to the dismay of all of us that were, looking forward to it and actually wanted something good. We're not ever gonna. No studio, I think, is ever gonna give us anything good.
It's a huge undertaking. I can see why, they would be intimidated and maybe kind of feel like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this correctly, because I mean it's the whole series. It's a masterpiece. It really is.
It's his magnum opus.
It's an amazing story. It's infuriating at times. I threw which book was it? I think it was the 5th one. I literally threw it across the room and was like, I'm done. I'm not reading any more of this. I'm not reading it anymore. And then of course, an hour later I go pick it back up, start reading it again. Cuz you have to know what happens.
Yeah.
You can't get that far into the journey to the Dark Tower and then be like, nope, just not going to finish it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're going to continue to discuss the movie, everybody involved, they gave it their whole ass. I am firmly ascribed to the ideal that if you're going to do something, don't half-ass it, give it your whole ass.
Yeah.
And Idris Elba he was great in the role.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Matthew McConaughey was, look, a lot of people were pissed. A lot of people didn't like his casting for Randall Flagg, a.k.a. the Man in Black. I thought he did a great job.
I thought he did okay. Okay, listen. Now, my dream casting for the Man in Black is
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, obviously. I think he would be just perfect.
But here's the problem. He's going to come across as Negan.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's going to think about it.
Maybe.
The sadistic shit that Randall Flagg does, he's going to come across as, he's going to be typecast. Maybe a typecasting is what it would be. I think they should just redo it all, keep McConaughey as the Man in Black, or, what's his name, from the Stand miniseries that they did. He was okay, except for the fucking dancing shit. What the hell were they thinking?
Oh, Alexander Skarsgård. Yes.
Yeah, one of them.
I really liked. Yeah. I really liked him on the Stand
Yeah.
show. He was actually pretty good.
That was a pretty good series, except for toward the end where everybody's in Vegas and stuff. It was not a party. Nobody did any dancing like that.
I hate to say, I have not read that book yet.
He ruled with an iron fist. If people were caught on drugs, they got hung from light posts. Regularly showed people doing coke and getting all coked out and having just the fucking time of their life. That is not how it happened. I don't know what book they read.
Right.
But if the takeaway here is the fans need to listen to the fans more and actually listen to our input, because we know what we want to see.
Yeah.
We know how the material plays out. Pay attention to us.
Yeah.
Because we are needy. We are needy and loud. Pay attention. Quit polishing turds. Be like Mike Flanagan and make a decent fucking movie. Dr. Sleep was great. I haven't read the book. It's in the pile because it's more than a stack now. It's a fucking pile. I'm sure it's faithful to the source material. So just pay attention to us, because we know how to do it. We just don't have the means or the money to make something decent You do, big studios. So make it happen. Just listen to us.
But yeah, this is the stuff that we talk about and that we bond over. Movies, TV shows, books.
Shared rage of how they fuck them up.
Yeah, shared rage. We have a lot of shared rage, and that keeps us going strong, I think.
Speaking of rage, should we talk about Jupiter Ascending?
No, we're not going to get into that again.
I think we should. Because I mean, if the listener wants, I mean, you're my co-host. This is.
Listen,
No. If they want to peer into our lives, if they're going to be listening to us on the regular and they want to get to know us, they should know about your betrayal.
My betrayal. Listen, I tricked him into watching the movie Jupiter Ascending. I don't know if you've seen it.
Don't watch it.
I happened to just be like, yeah, it's a pretty good movie. We should watch it. I've seen it before.
You
we should
really
watch
sold
it.
it.
And then I did not. Come on.
You really sold it to me.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. It wasn't just, hey, it's a pretty good movie. We should probably watch it. You were like, we have got to watch this movie.
No,
it is really good.
No,
it's really, really good. It's got a great cast.
Listen. My jokes throughout the whole thing were spectacular, okay? You can't deny that.
I won't.
It was worth it for my dog jokes about Channing Tatum.
Why the fuck was he a dog?
Because his character was for some reason half dog, half human. Or something like that.
Because mom fucked a Labrador.
My God.
Why?
Oh my gosh.
That movie made no sense. And you sold it to me like it was the best thing on Rotten Tomatoes.
I did not.
You did.
I did not act like it was the best movie ever. I was just like, hey, we should watch this movie.
Don't listen to her. She's lying.
He over-exaggerates.
No, I don't. I do not embellish that much. I can remember because it was a traumatic event. You hear her laughing at my trauma?
We've watched Birdemic, Ryan.
Yeah, and this was worse somehow because they were taking themselves seriously.
So were the people that made Birdemic, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But still.
Those guys were like, we're going to make this movie. It's going to be so great. And then...
we're going to flail coat hangers around in the air and add birds in post. What's post?
What's post?
No, she sells this movie to me like it's the greatest thing since Schindler's List or Citizen Kane or Pulp Fiction.
I did not make it seem like it was
No, you made it seem like it was a really great movie.
No, I didn't.
And then we watch it and it's this just flaming turd. And I swear to God, I wanted to kill myself. I honestly fucking did. If I hadn't been drunk and you weren't making your jokes, I would have found some way to fashion a noose out of my belt or my gym shorts drawstrings. I would have found a way. Do not watch that movie. Okay, I've seen there recently. I think a couple weeks ago, I saw an article that was like, "Why Jupiter Ascending is underrated." I immediately flashed white with rage because it's not underrated. It shouldn't be rated at all. It should have never been made. Okay? Now, if you listen to this and you go watch this movie, that's on you. Okay? That's on you. That's your fuck up. Okay? Because you hear that silence? That silence makes more sense than this movie. Okay? I mean, it's your typical rags to riches bullshit. But for some reason, Channing Tatum's a dog. Eddie Redmayne is some space emperor that talks in a falsetto through the whole movie like this for some reason, and he's got a very stiff upper lip, and you just want to karate chop him in the fucking throat. And Channing Tatum is, again, a dog, and he hops around off the wall all parkour, 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 shit. Like, I wanted to Van Gogh the ceiling with my brains watching that movie. She betrayed me. So, there's just one little peek into the dynamic that is us. We were talking about it the other night, and I was legitimately sitting here getting mad.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want you to talk about it again.
Well, it's a public service announcement. You know, hey, if you're listening to this, don't watch Jupiter Ascending. Watch Geely instead. That was, I think, held.
I've never seen that. Never seen it.
It got shit on relentlessly when it was released by everybody. It was like hailed as the worst film ever made. You know, of course, it was hyped to be one of the greatest, and had this big production value, and it had Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, and it's this love story in the hood, or the fuck ever it was. I don't even remember. But it was the world's crummiest movie until Jupiter Ascending came along. So watch Geely instead, or Manos, The Hands of Fate, which translates to Hands of Fate, or EGA, or Overdrawn at the Memory Bank.
Great episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000, by the way.
Yes.
You should watch it. Look it up on YouTube.
Watch out for snakes. Who said that? I fill my tires with water. These are references you'll understand if you watch EGA. See, I sidetracked myself. I'm sitting here thinking about that stupid fucking movie, and I can't keep my train of thought straight. Yeah, or if you're going to watch it, ply yourself with as much alcohol as you can first. Okay, Cloud Atlas made more sense. Okay, which, fine movie, bit hard to follow, and by a bit, I mean extremely. I'm a pretty bright guy, and I'm sitting there thinking, the fuck is happening? The fuck is happening right now? Tom Hanks is in like 18,000 different timelines. We're at 47 minutes. Cool your boobs. Calm your tits. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's where I have to sit right now. Okay,
I know. I need to go get a boom stand.
Yes, I'm like on the corner of the bed sitting here, and as we've mentioned, I'm extremely pregnant.
Oh.
So
I don't want the mic to go falling off the... Okay.
I'm getting very uncomfortable.
Well, we got about 13, 20 more minutes. You can tough it out. If you can make it through a podcast episode, you can make it through labor. If you can make it through labor once before...
I've made it through labor before. Thank you very much.
I just said.
Yes.
See? You see what I got to deal with? This. I'm miming the running mouth.
He's doing the running mouth thing, and he's the one who runs his mouth most of the time.
Yeah, listening back to this is going to be a cringe fest for me because I'm extremely long-winded.
Yes, you are.
Well, I like to be detailed.
This is what I've had to put up with for how long now?
Almost a decade.
Almost, yeah.
I'm long-winded. I like to be descriptive and detailed. Sue me. Actually don't, because I'm poor. I might not be if some company that I've mentioned in this time wants to buy some ad space. I'll do your ad reads. Send me the copy. I'll read it. It's fine.
Anyway.
Listen to this voice. I could give Will Arnett a run for his money. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. But no. Yeah. Stuff. Things. We're talking. Yeah. My train of thought has completely just derailed because we mentioned Jupiter Ascending.
You mentioned Jupiter Ascending.
Mentioned Jupiter Ascending. God, fucking kill me now. The series is going to end right here after this because I'm going to go hang myself from the shower curtain rod. Just hear snap, ka-thud, and then, a very loud ouch or ow. Because it's not going to hold me. I'm a big guy.
Yeah, that's not very efficient.
It's held in by... Yeah, I know. I should find a load-bearing beam or something and use that instead. You're right. Any hoots.
Anyway. So, yeah, September 9th, is the due date.
That's what they say.
It's coming up quick.
I don't think it'll be that day exactly. It can't be.
Oh no, I honestly feel like it's gonna be
A little
maybe
after.
like a week or two after that.
That's fine.
Which is fine, yeah, sure.
As long as it's not the 7th or the 11th, it'll be fine. Yeah. I don't want somebody to ask me, when's your kid's birthday? Well, 9/11. I don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah, don't want to do that. Need new box springs. Shit's creaky, man. Creaky.
If I had a chair to sit in here, because...
Really what I need is a proper broadcast space.
Well, I can't... It's very hard to be comfortable right now. I'm uncomfortable most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard being pregnant.
Yeah, especially standing on your feet all day at work and stuff. I'd say that sucks a lot. Tell me about work. Let's talk about work. We haven't talked about that yet.
God, do I have to talk about work?
Let's talk about Travel Centers
man.
of America.
Well,
what a
listen.
fucking awesome experience that is.
I work at a truck stop, okay?
Mm-hmm. People shit in the showers. There's a toilet literally a meter away, and nope, I'm just going to be right where I stand.
Yeah,
like, Cro-Magnon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are showers, and, they're like little bathrooms, It has a shower, it has a sink, a mirror, it has the toilet. Yet, every now and then, someone feels the need to just take a big old shit just right in the shower. I will never understand.
You have to ask yourself, why?
There's a man that comes in, and he will literally go into the bathroom. He will fill the toilet with a bunch of toilet paper, and then piss and shit on it, and then come out and come up to the counter and
shitter's clogged and
tell us that someone put a bunch of toilet paper in the toilet and peed on top of it. Dude, that was you. It's
like that episode of Archer where he puts all the stuff in the toilet and to get Rip Riley to open the bathroom door. Except instead of a ruse being in the toilet, it's piss and shit.
Yeah.
Truckers are gross.
I've seen bottles filled with pee just rolling across the parking lot before, and
yeah, you don't have tumbleweeds
yeah,
and things like that at a truck stop. You have piss jars, yoo-hoos, empty yoo-hoos filled with piss, just and then there goes the fucking piss jugs, piss bottle that some poor porter has to go out there and touch. And
retail, it's just working in retail, working at a gas station, period, is really annoying sometimes. Like, do you know how many times a day I want to tell people I don't set the prices of this stuff. I just work here.
I think everybody has had that experience in retail.
People just act like, so right now they're, renovating the restaurant. There are 3 fast food restaurants in the building, and 1 actual, sit down restaurant, which they're renovating. It's going to be open soon.
It's going to be an IHOP.
And yeah, it's going to be an IHOP. Which,
IHOP.
Hey, listen, stop.
IHOP, the world's best pancakes. Give me money. She's looking at me. If looks could kill, she just shot daggers at me with her eyes.
Well, you're always telling me that I need to talk more, and then I try to talk, and then you talk over me.
All right, I'm shutting up. Shutting up. They're turning Country Pride into an IHOP.
But there's a lot of. Well, see, now that I'm on day shift, I have a little less of this going on. But working on the night shift was a lot more difficult because all the places closed down at 10. So for the last 2 hours of the shift, people coming in asking why we don't let them have food, and it's like, dude, we have there are literally salads over in that cooler over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's sandwiches, you know. We have the roller grill in the store, you know, that we put hot dogs and whatnot
And
on there.
what percentage of those
And-
people do you think have ever actually eaten a salad?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably not
I don't
really
know.
that many.
I don't really like to, you know, judge people like that, but
Well, when a guy comes...
honestly, some of these customers piss me the fuck off.
A guy comes up smelling like feet and body odor and, you know, Parmesan cheese, you're not... Probably, you know, he has that level of personal hygiene. He probably hasn't really eaten a salad in the last 20 years.
Well, listen, I'm sure that, you know, being a trucker is not the easiest job, especially
Oh, no.
when you're driving, you know, across the country.
Oh, absolutely
You know?
not. No.
But that's why, you know, all these truck stops have our rewards programs, which that's a whole other thing that I could go into and get pissed about just
Then
talking
do it.
about it.
Do it. Go into it.
Well, they sign up for these rewards programs, okay, and they have no idea how they work. But then they want to argue with me when I'm trying to tell them how they work. Like the people that get mad at me because they don't realize that their shower credits expire after a certain amount of time. So if they don't use a shower credit within a week, it goes away. And they get mad at me and expect me to give them a free shower, and I can't be doing that. I can't be just giving away free showers willy-nilly. Because, you know.
And they got mad, even though they don't understand it.
Yeah.
When you try to explain to them how it works, they got mad because, I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
No,
It's like they don't even
honestly,
understand it themselves.
Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me either. There are other places like Pilot and Love's where your shower credits never expire. You know, you earn a free shower. You have it for forever.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, unfortunately, TA goes through Ultra One.
Give us money.
Which, honestly, a lot of their policies are just really, really weird. Like, you have to get a certain amount of fuel at a time to even get the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, of course, yeah, that, you know, makes them, you know, buy more fuel. You know, it makes TA more money to give them that free shower. I totally understand, like, all that, but I don't know. I just wish that it could just be easier on us cashiers because it's really hard sometimes.
Yeah. So,
Especially being a woman, because
Yeah.
men tend to not want to listen to women.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry. What were you saying?
You're funny.
Funny looking. That's why I'm doing this kind of thing. Face made for radio.
Right. Well, one of my coworkers, like currently right now.
Not supposed to agree.
Shut up.
She struck me.
We have there's only 2 male cashiers that we have. One is on the midnight shift.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, he only works like 2 days a week. 2-3 days a week, something like that.
I know who you're talking about, but we're not going to name names.
Well, he happened to ask me the other day. He said, how did he phrase it? I think he asked me, how many times a day do I get sexually harassed by customers? Honestly, it hasn't really been that much since I've been noticeably pregnant, which is really great because I've had some really gross guys. I had a guy ask if I wanted to go after my shift and go do like cocaine or something with him. Like he made like a motion, you know, like, you know, stiffen something up your nose.
Yeah.
And
It's like, you know,
that's just so weird. It's just so weird. And I'm so awkward. And it was just so like it surprised me. It was just like, you're just going to ask a random cashier to go do drugs with you behind the building?
And to have such a cavalier off-the-cuff attitude about
And
it.
I was just like, oh, no. That's okay, thanks though. Like, I didn't mean to, like, obviously not thank you. No. No, thank you. No.
Yeah.
Not gonna do that. But it's just, sometimes I would love to look at these people in the face and just be like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
But I can't, because that's my job. And it really sucks that we can't do that.
Yeah.
And I have watched videos, like, women as cashiers, they'll set their phone up and record a man sitting there not taking no for an answer for like 20 minutes. And then you see these comments of these people that are like, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just say that? Why don't you just do this? I would have just done this. No, you wouldn't have. You never know what these people are going to do, how they're going to take rejection.
Yeah. And sometimes appeasement doesn't even work.
There's a lot of women get killed.
Yeah.
Women get murdered because they say no to men sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, that's... So, yeah, of course I'm going to sit here and laugh awkwardly and uncomfortably and, try to say no in the easiest way that I can.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, I'm at work. It's my job. Second of all, I don't know what the fuck this guy's going to do. I don't know if I'm going to leave work and he's going to be waiting outside for me.
Yeah, and plus you don't know what it was cut with. Don't know if it was any good or not.
I'm not... Well...
That would be my chief concern.
I'm not just talking about the guy with the drugs, Ryan.
I'm still on the guy with the coke.
By the way, I have no desire to even do that at all. Not even with you, so...
Threats of a good time does not condone the use of the cool drug cocaine.
It is not cool. Drugs are bad. Pot's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Please, smoke all the pot you want.
Please.
Just get super stoned and sit at home, watch fucking TV shows and laugh your ass off and eat a bunch of food.
Get high, eat cookies, play with your dog. Don't drive. Yeah. No booger sugar.
No, the last place I worked too, I talked about it before, out in Athens, West Virginia. I would close a lot by myself.
Getting the gurgles.
I'm sorry.
How long is that going to be a thing?
At
least
through childbirth. Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm pregnant. I have acid reflux anyway. I'm eating Tums like they're fucking candy, man.
A lot of podcasts, they have like a cough button.
I can't.
Where it kind of just mutes their microphone for a second so they can cough. We need a tiff gurgle button.
Shut up.
You find a step stool and make me. See, there's the daggers again with the eyes.
Okay, just for some reference, okay, I'm 5'2" and he's like 6'2", so
yeah,
always with the short jokes.
Yeah, which you can always make Jolly Green jokes.
But I like your tallness. I like tall guys. Sorry.
But I'm always bumping my head on stuff, and it makes my brain all hurty, and my thinky parts hurt.
Anyway, no, there was this man.
Tell him about the guy that called.
That would come into the store.
That called TA. Tell him about that after this.
Well, there was this man that would come into the store, and he would get his things, and then he would walk around the store pretending to be looking at a bunch of other stuff when there was other people in the store, when there were other customers. He would not come up to the counter until there was no one else in the store. He would not say anything out of the way to me if there was anyone else in the store. Like, it got to the point where one day when I wasn't there, my boss said something to him because I complained. Of course I complained about the guy.
What did Bill say to him?
He basically was just like, you can't be coming in here and harassing my cashiers, man. Like, you can't, she's in here by herself. It's at night. It's late at night. You can't be doing that. You can't be coming in here and, you can't be harassing her. And if you can't do that, then don't come in the store anymore. Like, he basically told him, if I get more complaints from her, you're going to be banned.
Tell him what he would say.
He would come in, he would ask if I loved him. And of course, it'd be, being a woman, I'm alone in the store with this guy. So I'm like, ha ha, no, I'm married, I'm taken,
betrothed,
whatever, and he just would not stop. He would call me his future baby mama. I want to throw up in my mouth a little bit right now just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But no, and the craziest thing to me too was that you had met him before.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, you came down to the store one night and we sat out there with him and his wife and pet their dogs and talked about their dogs and stuff.
Yeah. And he wasn't that big a guy either. He saw how big I was.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he can imagine the things that I could do to him if he, crossed a line.
Yeah. He was just...
But he tried to cross it anyway.
Yeah, he was just really, really relentless with, coming in and, like, saying stuff like that to me and just not taking the hint. Which, dear men, okay, pay attention to a woman's body language or the way that her voice sounds. Like, if you know what a woman sounds like when she's laughing, when she's really laughing and thinks that something is really funny, and you happen to say something to her and the laugh that she does not sound like her genuine laugh, she's probably laughing very uncomfortably and does not like what you just said, but she's just afraid to tell you that she doesn't like what you just said. So, and also, men, if you think it's funny to hand your female cashier money and then pull it away as soon as she grabs it and then try to hand it to her again and then pull it away, she doesn't think that's funny. It's really fucking annoying, and please don't do that, okay?
It's like, what is this, fucking kindergarten?
Please don't do that, because, number one, you will not ever do that to a male cashier, and I know that you won't. You're doing it because it's a female and you think that she's cute. She doesn't think it's cute. It's fucking annoying. Please don't do that. Anyway.
Tell them about the guy that called TA.
The guy that called TA?
That you told me about the other night.
Oh. The one that was insisted that that I told him that he smelled good or something.
Yeah, I was like, let's go out.
I answered,
whatever it
no,
was.
He asked if I was single. Okay, no. So this guy calls, I pick up the phone and, hey, it's a great day at TA. This is Tiffany. Except, honestly, if I'm being honest here, anytime I answer the phone, it comes out more like, it's a great day at TA. This is Tiffany. Because it's not a great day. And
it's TA.
Most of the time it's people wanting to tell me their life story over the phone before I get that they need to be transferred somewhere else. Mm-hmm. While I have a line of like 10 people waiting. No, I answered the phone and this guy's just like, oh, hey, great, Tiffany, cool, I wanted to talk to you because he's like, I don't know if you remember me. I was in there a few days ago. And I'm thinking, hey, okay, maybe it's a customer that I helped out with something. He was having trouble with something and I helped him out, whatever. No, he was like, do you remember the muscular tattooed guy that you said smelled good? Immediately, I was like, no, I don't. Because I don't tell customers stuff like that, even if they do smell good, because when some of them, when they come out of the shower, they smell really good. Of course, everyone smells really good when they come out of the shower. I don't tell them that though, because that's how you get lurkers. That's how you get creepers that hang around. And I basically was just like, nope, that wasn't me. Are you sure that it was, are you sure it was Tiffany? Well, I asked what your name was and you said Tiffany. And then he said, what do you look like? I said, well, I'm very visibly pregnant right now, if that helps. And he was silent for a minute and then he said, are you single? And I said, no, I'm not. And then he hung up. So, that wasn't one of the worst interactions I've ever had with a customer, but it was definitely weird.
Yeah. Moral of the story, listener, don't be a creep. Treat your cashiers with respect. Tip them if you can. Don't be an asshole.
Seriously, just don't be an asshole, because a cashier is just trying to do their job, okay?
Yeah. And that's a big takeaway for life, too. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an asshole. Don't be a creep. Please don't be a creep, because I would rather deal with 10 assholes in a row than deal with one creep.
Yeah.
Because some of those men are disgusting.
Yeah.
Just disgusting. Oh, one of the funniest things I've had happen at TA, though. I can't really remember what the fuss was about. I think it was over a parking spot, because at the time, we were charging $18 for a reserve spot, which is, one of the spots closest to the store.
Right.
And it was this man and his wife, and I'm pretty sure that they were in an RV, but they needed somewhere to park for the night. This guy, he got so mad. I'm pretty sure it was over a parking spot that, they're $18. He said, my family has lived in Virginia for over 250 years, and this is how you people do us. And I wanted so bad. This is one of those situations where you want to look at the person and be like, sir, if I would have known we had royalty in here, I would have rolled out the red carpet. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Next time, we'll have champagne ready for you. We'll have the red carpet out. Like these, there are some ridiculous, very ridiculous people that come in thinking that they're better than everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, he was here pre-founding of the United States. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He was very insistent that his family has lived in Virginia for over 200 years and that he should be treated as such. Sir, I don't know you. I'm sorry. I don't know you. Okay?
And that's your purse.
I don't know your family.
Yeah. 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 So that's key takeaway. Don't be a creep. Don't try and pull the "do you know who I am" card. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Be kind. Be friendly. And tip your waitress. tip your cashier if you can. Watch Mystery Science Theater.
Oh yeah.
Inject all the marijuana that you can. Just mainline that shit right into your arm.
Don't inject drugs. Come on, please. Stop. Smoke it or eat it, okay?
Tiffany, you can't... Oh my God, she's undercutting my jokes.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Don't be a creep.
Because it makes you mad.
It doesn't make me mad. It just frustrates me. And
because it frustrates you.
It doesn't frustrate me. Don't be a creep. Tip your waitress. Tip your cashier. Don't hit on them. Don't hit on them. Spay and neuter your pets. I'm sure you can hear that cat going crazy outside my door because she's in heat. Watch Mystery Science Theater. Smoke pot if you like. Do all those things and be kind. Put yourself in a good headspace and don't fear the threat of a good time. So, with that being said, we will see you next time. Bye. Say bye, Tiffany.
Bye.